everybody, I'm Alan, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm fishing at Ogmore again. One of my favourite venues, relatively easy fishing. It's Wednesday the 20th of March, and it's currently quarter to 12 in the morning, and we've got a 4 o'clock high tide, and the plan is to fish up to high and maybe 2 or 3 hours of the ebb depending on how we go. It's quite an overcast day, it's about 10 degrees, and it's a neap tide. We've only got about 4 meters of tidal elevation change. We've got about a 7.5 meter high on the Port Call scale, and we've got about a 3 and a bit meter low, so not a lot of tidal change. I'm fishing in a slightly different location. You've got the sort of main runner ledges further down there, about 200-300 yards. I'm fishing more towards the village of Ogmore on sea, or by sea. There's quite a big swell pushing in. You can see here some big sets of waves pushing in, but I got a nice little sort of way down if I need to get down at all. Fishing on my own. I've got my life vest on. Don't really trust, even with studded boots, it's very slippery here, a lot of green weed. So just can't take too many precautions really to ensure my safety when fishing on my own, particularly when we're going to be in the dark. Quite a few people fishing here. First casts are in the water. Fishing 2 rods, pulley pennels with 4/0 circle hooks on a dongle rig, hoping for a ray. Watched a video, a couple of lads fishing over at Witch's Point, Mario Asperu, if you follow him, South Wales angler, bagged up loads of rays. So Witch's Point is probably about 2 miles further down, past Southerndown. Loads of rays caught, dogfish, congers, lots of other species as well. So fingers crossed to try and get an early season ray, or maybe just a dog. Baits today, we've got bluey, squid, mackerel, sandeels. I've got some black lug. What else have I got? No, that's about it, I think. And we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. rig wise, fishing a dongle rig, so here's a couple of sandeels and a squid on a 4/0 circle hook conservation loop, 200 pound braid, and I'm fishing a 80 pound trace on a pulley rig. I keep saying pulley pennel, but it's not, it's just a pulley rig, not a pennel rig. Usual setup. Fishing a rotten bottom, got a Cox and Roll rotten bottom, very much like the video I did at Battery Point. One of the things I should have said is that when you use the rotten bottom, obviously you've got this length of line, and if you just clip it up normally, you might get a loop that might interfere with your release system for your hook. So if you just spin it, and then before you clip it on, it actually twists the line, and you get a if I can get it to, there you go, it twists the line and everything is basically twisted out of the way, so that you don't have this sort of loop of line up around your release system for your hook, which could snag. And the pulley is about 4 foot. Fishing for a couple of hours, no bites as yet, haven't seen any fish. Still that strong swell pushing in. Did some drone footage and you can see the waves crashing in. Fingers crossed I should be okay. Got another 2.5 hours before high water. I think the swell, as the water gets a little bit deeper, it should settle off a little bit, because it's not coming across a reef that's to the right of me. So even though there's absolutely no wind today, at most 4 or 5 mile an hour, there's been obviously a southwesterly wind, probably 10 to 15 mile an hour, I think, for a couple of days. And you can see the swells that it actually brings in here at Ogmore, and why you have to be very careful. Here comes a big one. Why you have to be so careful when you're fishing on the rock platforms. Particularly here, because there's obviously a long run of ledges with sort of little coves in between. But the waves hit obviously the nearest point and then just almost funnel down and end up just at the end of the deeps there. So I'm quite surprised by how much swell action there is here. Makes it quite interesting. Obviously, as I said earlier, I've got my life vest on, so not that I'm expecting to get too close to the water now, but as you see, it's periodically you get a very big set of swells come in, and they're obviously breaking over the Nash sands, which are now covered. I think you could see them earlier on. You can see them, probably the video won't pick it out, probably about 2 miles offshore there. You can see the swells breaking over the Nash sands, the Nash bank, which is a very large sandbank that runs, I think, 10 miles from sort of Nash Point up towards Port Call. And waves obviously break over and cause a few problems. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to be okay at high water. We'll see. But if we have to move, we have to move. So got my frozen baits this morning at Dave Lewis Angling in Newport in South Wales. I thought actually I'd bought bluey, but when I've defrosted them, or when they've thawed out a bit, they're actually small anchovies, I think. So about 6 inches long, but they make a good bait. I bought them because I thought, oh, that'll be a good bait, just take the head and top off, and they'd be a good sized bait. But anyway, they're still a good sized bait, it's just not what I thought it was. So as I said, got a 4/0 circle hook with a 200 pound braid dongle, and I got a few knots in there that are just tight, little overhand knots, really just to give the braid something to cling on to. Baiting up is baiting up. We all have our own ways, but the basic principle is the same. I put the bait needle, so I've taken the head to the gills of the bait off, and the tail section. use Baitex elastic from Tronics Pro. Apparently it biodegrades. We'll see about that. Just a little bit of whipping on the fish, and then just really lay the hair along the length of the bait. So that it's out straight. And then I put a lot of whip in at the hook end, so that when I pass the point of the hook through the end of the bait to secure it on, it doesn't go anywhere. Just going to put a tiny bit of squid on it as well. And then just pass the circle hook through the end of the bait. And then just make sure your bait is sort of got any odd bits. And there you go. There's the bait, and it's plenty elastic this end, so that it doesn't it's got something to bite into and takes a little bit of pressure on the cast. There we go, that's how I bait up.
Bit of a blowhole here, wait for a big wave to see if it's going to give us a show. Here it comes. Whoa.
Absolutely fabulous coastline down here at Ogmore. It's down towards Southerndown, Witcher's Point, Nash Point. If you've not been down here, it's just great to come down for a walk along the cliffs. If you're scared of heights, then obviously just stay away from the edges. But beautiful coastline, and at low tide you probably have a good chance of picking up some of my tackle that I lose. Having said that, today, fingers crossed, hasn't been too bad so far.
Quite cloudy and overcast now. Bit of drizzle in the air.
About an hour and a half till high water. Absolutely no action on the fishing. Bait's coming back untouched after 35-45 minutes. Oh yeah, some days it's like that, isn't it? So the plan, as I said, fish to high water, and then probably maybe 2 or 3 hours down, depending on how bad the pull is, because I've got a reef to my right hand side. But I know casting sort of 10 o'clock-ish, if I'm facing out to sea, maybe 10 o'clock, then there's sand there.
Always encourage people to leave the marky fish tidier when you leave than when you arrived. Generally the mark here isn't too bad today. There's just some stuff that I found washed up on the little beach here. You've got your water bottles, probably your Smirnoff vodka bottle, your Strongbow cider tin, 2 soles of children's shoes by the looks of it, 1.5 tennis balls, some bit of big plastic strip, and another yellow plastic thing. So yeah, generally mark isn't too bad today, so no fishing line or anything like that, fishing litter, just general stuff that's been washed in by the sea. So please tidy up when you finish and take all your rubbish home with you. Thanks so much.
bought myself another casting special. I think that's the best thing from a casting. Certainly get more yardage out of these casting special than I do out of the Penn Mag 525s. Probably 15-20 yards, I would say, on my very crude estimation. Half an hour to high water, still dead as a dodo, but let's fingers crossed for the ebb. Something very satisfying when you use a whole 500-meter spool of elastic without losing it. I had that one probably 2.5 years, one of about 3 I take. So that's Tronics Pro, or was Tronics Pro medium Batex elastic. I find the fine stuff too fine, snaps too easy. For me, anyway, and the heavy's too heavy. Medium's just right. High tide. It's a little bit brighter. Fishing's rubbish. Great leveler. You watch a video and you see people trawling them in from all angles, from cast one. I think I'll have some of that. Haha. Anyway, 3 hours, probably fish 3 hours of the flood, I think, until it starts getting dark. I should be okay here. High tides just about now. I haven't been washed away yet. I might have the casting specials, but I'm not a special caster. Lovely crack off there. So I had to strap the Penn 525 on and immediately cast it 20 yards shorter. Oh well, let's get this one untangled and strap it back on. Well, I didn't want to say it that I'd fished here probably 11 or 12 times and never blanked, and that run continues. Never been so grateful to see a dogfish, absolute tiny one, but right on the turn of the tide my ratchet kept going and clicking and clicking and clicking. I just thought it was something on the line, a bit of weed or something. Sorry about that. And it was a dog, a little dog. So yeah, blank is beaten. Whew. 5 hours, 6 hours fishing for one dog. Anyway, a couple more hours yet. Fish here. Might have a landslide now. Everybody bar two has gone, so about 5 or 6 people who were fishing have gone. Saw one nice ray, caught small-eyed ray, about 100 yards up the ledge. So well done to a chap called Gareth who caught that. Some lad who was passing gave me that information, so nice to see that there is fish here. Just got to be able to catch them. Gonna have probably a couple more casts and then gonna call it a night. The doggy took anchovy and squid, not that it really matters on a day like today, but there you go. Not sure what really to say except other than it's been a lovely day here down at Ogmore. The birds are chirping, loads of people walking today, absolutely non-stop people walking back and forth, and yeah, have to come down again in a couple of weeks. As I say, one of my favourite venues just because it's the variety of fishing. You get some good fish here, and you know, on the Bristol Channel you're not up and down the beach or you're in the mud or anything like that. You're just on a rock ledge. You've got to choose your tides, choose your weather, and hopefully you can have a good session here. And as I say, I've never blanked here in whatever it is, 11 or 12 visits now. So one day that will end, but until it does, I'll bask in the glory of that. Until the next time. I'll do my outro before it gets completely dark. Last casts are in the water. It does pull hard on the ebb here. Much harder on the ebb I find than on the flood. Lost one set of tackle, pulled round into a snag. I had same cast, the cast before. I had the same snag, but I managed to pull out. So being a mug, I cast in exactly the same place, and I lost the tackle the next cast. But that's the first set of tackle that I've lost today. And unless I catch anything, which is highly unlikely, I'll close out the video by thanking everyone who continues to watch and support the channel. It's really helpful when you like the video content, and also when you subscribe to the channel. That's really appreciated. So if you can do that, that's great. Thank you very much. If you're out fishing this week, good luck. Hopefully you'll catch more than one dogfish, and be safe. Never take the sea for granted. Big swells every now and then here, and one wave did sort of come over the top a little bit, so didn't get wet, but saw it come in and was able to move back. So you just got to be careful. And again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the content, and we'll see you all again soon. Take care now. Bye.